It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. I'm back. Well, not only with a smile on my face. The reason why I have this smile on my face is because I'm reviewing another beer from Holy Goat. And they're from Dundee. And I find their beers a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun. They put a smile on my face. It brings the kind of 2010s back to me when I first started reviewing beer on the channel. I was all excited and kind of like, 11,000 beers later, and the excitement's very much still there, but it's a bit like riding a bike. When you've learned to ride a bike, it's just riding a bike, isn't it? But that first few times you ride a bike, it's exhilarating, isn't it? It's kind of like, whoa. But you do anything long enough, and it becomes normal, doesn't it? It becomes normal. But these beers from Holy Goat, they're just so much fun. They're a very serious brewery, and I take them very seriously. It's just different. That kind of, when I first started reviewing beer on YouTube in 2010, I don't think there was a brewery in the UK producing mixed fermentation beers. That kind of natural sour. You had to go to Belgium. Now I'm reviewing stuff from Holy Goat in 2025, 15 years later. Mills Brewing Company do some great things in Gloucester. There's other breweries in the UK doing mixed fermentation, and it's just fantastic. It's really fantastic. This is called Rondo Vines, and it's a mixed fermentation beer and a red wine hybrid at 7.4% ABV. Ignore the condensation on the bottle. I've had the beer out of the fridge now about half an hour, so it will be able to, just warmed up a little bit so I can experience the malts in the beer. And of course, you don't want red wine cold either, do you? It's a green glass bottle, which the liquid looks black, but I imagine it's the green glass. It'll probably be a dark red liquid. A little bit of smoke on the bottle opening. Beer in the glass. Oh yeah, look at this. Let's get this, if there's any sediment, let's get it into the glass. Did you hear that? That little hiss, that little fizz of aggression. So there's the goat skull sitting on top of an oak cask with red grapes sitting around the oak barrel. They're based in Dundee. Thank you very much to Stephen Claxon, who was kind enough to send me the beer. Good levels of carbonation. I'm not a massive fan of red wine, so after reading the side of the bottle there, I'm slightly apprehensive, I'll be perfectly honest. It's a little hazy. The head dissipated very quickly. Let's get the aroma. Mixed fermentation with red wine. It smells. The aroma for me is that mixed fermentation horse blanket aroma, but then with some like red grape juice. Red grape juice. A little acidic, a little kind of balsamic vinegar aroma coming through. It smells fantastic. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Stephen. Oh my goodness me. Oh, let all of that apprehension go away, because that's a brilliant beer. Stroke wine. Oh, the finish. Oh, that finish is just fantastic. It is like, it just have this kind of red wine juice finish, which ultimately, after all that initial hiss and fizz of carbonation and the sourness, that mixed fermentation, the balsamic vinegar, you're left with this wonderful, wonderful sense of refreshment. Oh, and it tastes organic. You know, that kind of very farmyard, this beer. It's very organic. It's almost like rolling around in a field full of flowers and grapes, if that makes sense to anybody. Oh. It's just delicious. That next flavour then was a flavour of, again, that mixed fermentation is quite, if anybody out there, I do, if anybody out there suffers a little bit with indigestion, you get to an age, I'm mid-40s now, I've got this kind of, my flappy thing's broken. My hernia thing up here is broken, and I can kind of causes me to cough. Yeah, it will. This will play havoc with this will play havoc with you. It really will. But you're probably watching this in your 20s thinking, what's that man on about? Oh, so good. Where was I? I wanted to talk about the malt. I wanted to talk about that, like that lovely biscuity, grainy malt undertone of a flavour that just carries and carries and carries and rolls and rolls and rolls. It's just fantastic. There's so much going on with this beer. From the red wine aspect, from the beer aspect. It's like red wine and beer clashing, having a good old boxing match in the ring. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm at the end of my journey with Stephen Claxton's beers that he sent, and I always have my eyes opened. There's so many supermarket releases with beer, there really is, and there's so much kind of like this sort of thing that seems to kind of occupy a little bit of the channel space these days. And of course I understand all of this, because it's so much easier for people to get hold of supermarket beer. It's so much easier for people to get hold of these noodles in Aldi sort of thing. And you know, for what I'm reviewing here in the bottle is much more of a specialist thing. There's probably a few people watching on the channel today who are, you know, they tuned in out of curiosity, and they thought to themselves, you know, maybe I'll buy this bottle of beer, maybe I won't. If you're interested, you can pick it up in Trembling Madness, or probably Holy Goat's website. You can pick it up from there too. It's a really interesting beer, and it always, my point here is that it always opens my eyes. Stephen Claxton buys these beers and he sends them down to me, and it's always like, these beers are incredible. It's like proper high-end, great quality, and it reminds me of why the channel started, and the journey we've been on, and trying to balance between like supermarket stuff and great beer, because you don't want to lean too much into specialist stuff, because your general public will tune out. And you don't want to lean too much into supermarket stuff, because the people who like the specialist stuff will tune out. It's a fine balance, but I always love standing here talking about these beers, because that's really probably where my heart of hearts is. I mean, if I could review beers like this all of the time on the channel, I would. I definitely would, because they are of the highest quality, and they blow your mind every single time. They really do. It's phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal beer. I need to head to I have a specialist bottle shop in Penarth called Penarth Bottle Shop, and I really need to, and I say this all the time, I really need to spend a bit more time in it, and I really need to buy more of these beers and put them on the channel. My plans for 2025 are more, I'm going to do a lot more. Remember the last year I did the Farmer's Dog. We've come out of winter now, so I'm going to do a bit more kind of like Farmer's Dog type videos, visiting famous pubs, maybe England's oldest pub and Wales's oldest pub, Nottingham's oldest, you know, doing those sorts of things. That's what I'd like to do. I think the oldest pub is in Dorset, I think, in the UK. A lot of people think it's the pub in Nottingham, but I don't think it is. I think the oldest pub in the whole of the UK is either Devon, Dorset or Cornwall, down that sort of area of the UK. I'm pretty sure it is. Rondo Vines, fantastic. Thank you very much, Stephen Claxon. One of the most unique beers, beer and wine for a start, crossing together is just, you know, it's a recipe for disaster, isn't it? But it's worked. It's fantastic. It's worked. It's brilliant. Brilliant. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.